let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room an all-star pitcher for the Phillies. He's now on the Phillies pre- and post-game show for NBC Sports. Let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson once again and welcome in Ricky Bottalico. Good morning, Rick.
What's up, guys? I heard that little slip there, almost Eagles pre and
post. Caught that one, did you? Well, never put Billy in charge of the show. Oh, wait, it's his show.
Well, they do have a practice tonight at the link, so.
Well, you know what? It's true, Rick. I mean, this time of year, especially over the last several years, Phillies are an afterthought. We're like third or fourth place and watching disappointing baseball. Not this year. Things have picked up, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, things have definitely gone in the right direction here in the last week, and it couldn't come at a better time. I mean, let's face it. The Mets were free-falling, and the Phillies were just starting to get going. The funny thing about baseball is you could look terrible for weeks on end, and then all of a sudden, whatever it is, it could be anything. It could be one play. It could be one game. It could be one pitching performance that kicks you in the right direction. And you know what it is? It's not that this team is any different than they were 2 weeks ago. It's that they're learning to win. Yeah. And and certain things are going right, and the bullpen all of a sudden doesn't suck anymore. I mean, when you put those three things together, things start looking up in the world a little bit for the Phillies. And right now, hey, you know what? Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
That's what I say.
Ricky, there are two things that I want to ask you specifically about baseball. The first thing is, over the last several years, you see pitchers give up a home run, and you get the bat flip and the swag around the home run trot. Now you're starting to see Kyle Gibson striking out a batter, giving it right back to him with a fist pump and the emotion, and Ian Kennedy last night getting out of a jam. I thought that was pretty cool. I want to see more of that. You're a pitcher, former pitcher. What do you think about that?
I'm going to tell you right now, the fist pumps and like the quick yells that pitchers give, that's adrenaline rush. I really believe like the bat flips and stuff, that's about style points. I don't think they're actually – I mean, yes, if it's a game-winning home run, you'll see guys like throw their bat up in not in disbelief, but in like, ecstasy, I guess, if you want to call it that. but I don't think the pitchers are trying to show anybody up. I think the batters definitely try to show people up.
No, but I like seeing it. To me, it's like
that's emotion. I love raw emotion. I don't like the stuff that's let's just
contrived. There
out.
you go. Yeah, I'm with you.
Another thing
what I mean.
Another thing, Ricky, that Pete and I were just talking about prior to bringing you up is like Pete was saying the Phillies defense stinks, and I said Major League Baseball players when you get to the major leagues, you're good. You have the ability to make plays. You wouldn't be that high up. So Alec Baum in the infield has been mired making some errors, that costly errors. But just like a batter that goes in a slump, you go into the batting cage and you take extra pitches. Same thing for infielders. They can improve their defense.
They should be able to improve their defense. I will say this much. I came up under influences like John Vukovic and Larry Boa. So if you were making an error, you were back on that field hours. You were going to do something for hours. You're going to field ground balls. You're going to throw the ball over to first base. You're going to get it right before you step back on the field. I don't know if all that goes on so much anymore. I think there's so much emphasis on offense and hitting home runs that I just don't think that players put as much pride in their defense. And if they do, it doesn't really show. Because it's not just the Phillies this is happening to. I don't understand why it's happening to Didi because he's been pretty sure-handed this year. Alec Bohm, I think, is just too tall and lanky for third base. And I'm not saying he can't field over there because he's shown some flashes of being really good, but being good and being consistent are two completely different things. And I will tell you this much. Can you get better when you're fielding with your fielding by practice? Yes. Can you go from average to the greatest in the world? I think there's some physical ability to that too.
Ricky Bottalico is with us here on the Locker Room. Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim with you on a Sunday where the Phillies are in first place. They play the Mets today, 105, and it's alumni weekend, and Ricky Bottalico all over that as well. So, Ricky Bo, just to continue that theme about the poor defense, since it was my point, I think they're winning in spite of their poor defense. I think the lineup is constructed that when it's working properly, they out-hit and outscore people in spite of a couple oopses a game or extra outs a game. And I thought the key play yesterday, or one of the key plays, Odubel Herrera running down that ball in left field, that's the good Odubel. But there's not a position other than maybe JT, in my opinion, that is out there above average defensively. So even if they do make the playoffs, I think the defense could be their Achilles heel.
Oh, it definitely can. I mean, even Joe Girardi said it in his press conference a couple days ago. It's not necessarily about that play in general, but that play makes your pitcher work harder. It may take an inning. It may take 2 innings off of his outing, which makes the bullpen work harder, which makes the bullpen worse in the long run. You see what I mean? It's a domino effect of what happens when you don't make a play defensively. You're crushing your pitcher's pitch count. And I know pitch count, I don't really believe in the pitch count, but when you make him work harder, that does not make him more effective as the game goes on. That's for sure. I just think you make those plays. You're supposed to make things easier on the rest of your teammates. And I think you have to be better for those other 24, 25 guys. That's what you have to do. And you know what? If you're not making a play, make the next one. Make sure you're making the next one.
Definitely. Ricky.
And we've also seen a lot of guys take it into the field with them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, hey,
take it to the at-bats into the field and the fielding into their at-bats.
Sports is mental. You would know that better than anybody, right? I mean, it's a mental.
Yeah, it is.
It's a mental game.
I was out of my mind, so yeah, I would.
But that's what we love about you. I also love the fact that you'll always slip in, and I watch post-game probably as critically and analytically as anybody because, as you know, pulling back the curtain, there was a period of time that I was working for the network and, sort of in the room as I saw these planning meetings go together, and I saw organically how it all came about. And, I loved the other day when they had played in Washington that you praised Rhys Hoskins for his double, but also accurately pointed out his awful defense, like a hockey goalie. Just get your damn body in front of the ball and knock it down at some point. So, I mean, you call it like it is. So with that in mind, you said the bullpen is better. However, Mauricio Rivera comes into the game yesterday. What are you, Ricky, thinking as you're watching the first one go out? Okay, shake it off. The second one go out. Oh, come on, Joe. Third one go out, and you're like, warning, warning, warning.
Yeah, I think I was thinking exactly like you. I mean, there's nothing you could do for those 3 hitters once Rivera's out there. But my first thought was, I don't like this move. You don't like the move because I don't like giving momentum to another team. Especially when you're in game 2 of a 3-game set where you could literally, put the nail in the coffin at that point, per se. Because if they don't score in that inning, there's no confidence going into Sunday.
Absolutely.
Now they scored 3 runs in that inning, and all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, we do have some home runs in us. We do have some runs in us. So, maybe this will carry over to Sunday. And you hope not. You have Wheeler on the mound. You hope that doesn't happen. But, you know what? Rivera, he's a AAA pitcher to me right now, and that's where he belongs. The Phillies cannot have a hole anymore. And this is I got to explain what I mean by this. If this is April, if this is May, okay, you have a couple holes, you figure that out then, right? Mm-hmm. Once you start hitting June or July, if you are in things, you better get rid of that hole.
Right.
You get rid of the hole in your program, right? I mean, if you think about it, in any job, if there's one person that's not holding up their weight, what do you do with them? Ow. You get rid of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You have to have, you basically have to have a team that's solid all the way around. And if you find a weak link, you replace that weak link.
We're talking with Ricky Bottalico, all-star pitcher for the Phillies. He works now the Philly.
There it is. That's 2. We're going to charge him $1 every time he says that.
Hang up the phone.
$1 in the box. Kangaroo Court. Ricky, you and I are holding Kangaroo Court.
Pre- and post-game show for NBC Sports Philly. Ricky, let's talk about the NL East because you look at the Mets lineup: Brandon Nimmo, Alfonso, Javier Baez, Villar, McCann, Pilar. They got their offense. I mean, they've got some. But they 1 through 8, they're pretty solid. They're not hidden. You look at the Braves without Acuna and Ozuna and the Mets, the Grom's down and Lindor. The Washington Nationals sold. I mean, if the Phillies continue to play like this, I don't think they should have no problem winning the East.
Oh, don't say no problem.
Exactly.
The Braves have been there, done that. I don't think I'm going to say this. I don't think the Mets are the main squeeze here. I think the Atlanta Braves, they've been there, they've done that, they know how to win, especially at the end. I think that, I mean, looking at the schedule, I think the Phillies schedule is very simplistic as you get by August. I mean, you look at their September schedule, their last homestand are the Orioles and the Pirates. So
love it.
And then, but that next road trip could be everything because you have 3 against the Braves and then 3 against a team in the Marlins who you've struggled with in the years past. And there's nothing the Marlins would rather do than to knock the Phillies out of the playoffs. Remember that. But that being said, you know what? Freddie Freeman's still really good down there in Atlanta. Dansby Swanson, a pretty good player down there in Atlanta. They still have quality baseball players in Atlanta. So don't count them out.
Yeah, but their fans aren't as good as our fans, Ricky.
Hey, did you see the fight? Did you see the Mets fans were fighting, Bobo? Did you see those guys on Twitter? The Mets fans were fighting while a home run was being hit in the 9th inning?
Oh, the Mets fans are not happy at all. How could you be happy when you're witnessing your team collapse right now? and you can't say anything. You can't say anything about it because until they stop the collapse, you can't say anything. I love the back. You got to read the back of the newspapers in New York. It's classic right now.
They're going nuts.
They are destroying the Mets.
Well, Ricky, listen, I'm all pumped up. I'm just so excited that we have meaningful baseball here in August, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the season. And I really appreciate you taking time to come on. We got a 1 o'clock start today, 1:05, and it's Roy Halladay. They're honoring Roy Halladay.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Should be kind of a sad and happy day at the ballpark, I guess.
Hey, Bo,
you would look at it for Roy.
Have you burned the pavement between the Wells Fargo Center and the ballpark since it's alumni weekend? I mean, sometimes you'll just kind of come in and do your thing, right? But I would imagine on a weekend like this.
We have way too much to do over. I mean, we have all the hits and the in-game hits. It's hard to get over there during this weekend. I mean, especially.
I don't like that. They're working you too hard. You need more money. Come on now.
You want to be my agent?
Sure.
Hey, you're hired.
Yeah, but if you love working, if you love what you do, you never work a hard day in your life.
There you go. I love what I do. I really do.
And we love you. Thanks, Ricky Bobo, on the Barb's Harley-Davidson hotline, man.
Guys, fly, Eagles, fly.
He got you, Billy. All right, Ricky. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Ricky Patel. But Pete, I made that for you too. But guess what?
Twice.
Because in my head,
He got you.
I'm programmed.
He got you. He got you.
All right. Well, I'm human. But I'm. This time of year.
That's so funny.
What do we usually talk about this time of year?
Dude, he actually not only got you, but he was smart enough to connect it to the Eagles open practice tonight at the link and try to bail you out so it didn't seem like he was